Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, we are going to be taking a look at a new tool for the sim known as LittleNavMap. It's a free, very powerful tool for your flight planning, both IFR and VFR. And we're going to take a look at just some really basic VFR flight planning and injecting that into our sim and some of the other options and overlays that it does have. So we are currently on our map over Dubai in the UAE here. And we're going to do a little tour flight. So we're going to start at Skydive Dubai, and we will set that as our departure. And we'll add a park spot later. And then we are going to be flying. Ooh, what is this? Is that a thing? Okay, we'll go there. That's a cool cool destination. So we'll select a runway. Winds are currently... Do I have wind data? I do. So we're going to do runway 08. Okay. And you can see there now we excuse me, now we have that straight line drawn from Skydive Dubai to whatever this little airport is. It almost looks like a airbase of sorts, I would guess, just based off of the limited parking. But what if I go to topography map? Does that show me? Nothing, not what I want to see. Yeah, no, it's just a topography map, hence the name. So we'll go back to the street view. This is not at all going to be a full review. There's so much to cover in this, but I do just want to kind of show some basic flight planning to see if it's something you might be interested in. I'm not going to run through the setup or any of that. Obviously, I have it already set up with my sim, so we're not going to be doing any of that. So we've got our straight line from our departure to our arrival airport, but what if I want to cruise the Dubai skyline, which is exactly what I want to do. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to add position to the flight plan, and that'll make a waypoint. And then that'll take us right past Dubai International's ILS. And then that'll let us fly along the Dubai flight line, or the Dubai skyline. And then I'll add another waypoint here. What is this, Minhad Air Base, I think? No, Al Maktoum International. So we'll add another position there. And then we'll come... How far is the Yas Marina circuit? Oh, that's way the heck down there. It's over here. We're not going to go there. And then we'll go over here, over the palms, and add. So you can see here's our departure. You're going to fly waypoint 1, waypoint 2, waypoint 3, and then to our final destination. And there's pieces that I'm still missing, so you can actually create individual aircraft profiles and that sort of thing. In this case, we're going to be using, in case you didn't see it on Flight Sim, we're using the Kodiak 100, which is a very nice, versatile turboprop. And you can add different aircraft profiles so that when you have your flight planning, you can actually look at the different topography. Obviously, Dubai is pretty flat here, so, you know, your ground, I think our peak is 85 feet, 92 feet right there. So, I mean, you're talking really not a whole lot. But if we went somewhere more mountainous, for example, so let's clear this here. Let's say we want to go to Colorado, where there's mountains, or I guess we could go to India. They got that little mountain there. And I am going to switch to a topography map, because I need to see where my... Okay, so there's my mountains. Let's say I want to fly from here. And we'll just do 28 departure. And then let's say I want to fly to here as a destination. And we'll just do 29, assuming the runway is the same. So we've got a 78 nautical mile straight line. Where'd my topography or my little height calculator thing go? Huh. Where my... There you are. So there you can see where we're starting out relatively flat, but then obviously it increases significantly as we go over the... I almost said the Andes. What is the mountain range where the Himalayas are part of? Is that the Himalayan mountain range? Anyway, you can see we've got a huge increase in land altitude. So I should say, I guess, ground-based altitude. So lots of options there, but we're going to do our Dubai option like we did before. Assuming I can maintain my geographic oops. Departure. And can I do? Yeah, departure runway. We want 24, I believe. Then we're gonna fly over to here. Winds are there, so we'll do 08. Perfect. It's taking off into the wind, and then we'll add our legs for the city. So we'll add that guy. And that guy. It's a little bit of backwards of a flight plan. So boom, boom. Down the skyline, cross the ILS for Dubai International, and then off to our little airbase there. So that's basics for VFR flight planning. There's a whole bunch you can do with IFR flight planning, including looking at the different airspaces that are available. Obviously, there's tons of different classifications for airspaces. I tend to leave those off because if you have too many of them, it kind of clouds up your view of what might be down below. But tons of different airspaces. These are different waypoints you can select. If you were doing an IFR flight plan, you can import SimBrief flight plans. So a lot of cool free stuff intermeshing. But once we're done with that, we're going to go export as Microsoft's 2020 flight plan. And we'll do parking 2 for our park spot. We'll save our flight plan. And then we'll head back over to Microsoft Flight Simulator. And we'll go load save. And we'll go load from this PC. And I have a folder called LittleNavMap plans. And there you can see right there is our newly created flight plan. And it instantly pops us over and loads. Those are all of the waypoints we just plugged in. So let's go ahead, hop in the Kodiak, and nestle in for a little flight. We will leave LittleNavMap open for the time being. And I'll check back in once we get loaded. It shouldn't be too long. Looks like the loading bar is almost all the way across. Because you can tie in real aircraft in your sim. You can tie in multiplayer aircraft. You can tie in AI aircraft. But we're going to be using FSLTL, which in my opinion is the best traffic injector, period, let alone the best free traffic injector. But anyway, we'll check back in once we're loaded and set to take off. All right, and here we are loaded in our Kodiak 100 here in Dubai. You can see we've got a nice city skyline. This is the Dubai City Times scenery that we're running with here. Got some boats behind us, which, funny enough, if we switch back over to LittleNavMap, you can see that the boats actually are loaded in, all moving boats. So you can see we've got a Vigdis Cursed. That we got one of those. Looks like he's not moving. We've got another boat over here. He's doing about 25 knots. and another boat, which is static. Then if we scroll over to Dubai International, we can see a lot of the aircraft on the ground. These are aircraft injected by FSLTL, but these would also show with your default scenery, or sorry, default traffic, or if you were flying with multiplayer traffic enabled. Jumped back because I have this setting on. Where are you? There it is. Turn that off. You can see moving aircraft. So here we've got a, looks like a A320N, new engine option with undercarrier Jazeera Airways. We've, oh, goodbye Etihad. We've got an Emirates Boeing 777. Another, a UAE? What? Oh, Expo Green versus Expo Blue. Okay, so it's still a Emirates 777. A lot more boat traffic, so just a really cool way to get an idea of the traffic around you. And then obviously we have our Kodiak 100 sitting on the ramp. So we will go ahead and get started up, get airborne, and then we'll take a look at our map in progress as we fly. Alright, and here we are started up, and I'm going to take this time to, let me close this window for a little bit more noise isolation. We'll take this time to look back at LittleNavMap and just take a look at some of the detail that you do get in the aircraft. It tracks all kinds of incredible stuff. I didn't even realize I had flown over 7,500 nautical miles in the Kodiak. That's insane. You've got your current heading, which lines up with what we've got in the Sim 151 and 151 if you look at my G1000 there. Altitude indicated is our pressure altitude, what our barometer is set to, so if I dial that up, you can see our number goes up. If I dial it down, then that number goes down, including into the negatives, but we'll reset it to 30.00, which is currently what it is. We're 5 feet above ground, which is probably accurate. Ground elevation where we're at right now is 13 feet. Our autopilot is currently set to 7,500, and if I dial our autopilot down, or we'll go up actually, you can see that changes in real time. So that's very cool. And then there's your different speeds. Obviously we're stationary right now, but if I were to, let's take off the park brake here, and we'll slowly start moving on cruise power. You'll see our ground speed will roll up just a little bit as we start moving here. There we go, rolling now, and you can see we've got ground speed of 3 knots. Indicated still 0 on the G1000, but that's fine. So nonetheless, very cool to see. We will switch temporarily back to the Kodiak for the takeoff cam, because who doesn't want to see this very nice Dubai takeoff? Short runway, but no problem in the Kodiak. Power set. Autopilot is set. There's rotation. Come back a little bit on the NG. Just like that, we're airborne. Throw the autopilot on straight away. And we'll switch back to LittleNavMap. And you can see our aircraft there doing its thing, increasing in speed as we nearly collide with this gigantic Ferris wheel. Is this like the Eye of Dubai or something? Yeah, I mean, in hindsight, I didn't think, you know, the buildings and that sort of thing through, so we'll deal with that as we go. we'll get locks back in here on the autopilot, and I'm actually going to increase our rate of ascent by another 200 feet per minute. As we nearly collide with another building. But as we'll get established here, taking a look back at the LittleNavMap, you can see we're a little bit jittery. It's not perfect in terms of smoothness, but so I think it actually has a update cycle that it runs. There's, you know, like once every half second it's updating data. There might be a setting somewhere in there where you can lower that number, but it's more than fine for me, you know, especially if you're doing a long haul flight. So yeah, we'll do our rundown of downtown Dubai and then get established. The rest of our flight looks like there's two Emirates 777s off to our right. And we see either of those guys. Let's go outside. We'll switch back to the sim so you guys can see as well. And just off to the right, it's not Dubai. Is that Dubai International already? No, that might be Minhad Air Base. I'm not sure. Not quite seen them, so. Anyway. We'll continue on with a tour of the beautiful Dubai City Times scenery, and check back in once we're a little bit closer to our destination. Maybe look at a few more things LittleNavMap has to offer. There's our departure airport down there, Skydive Dubai. But for now, we'll enjoy the sights of Dubai. So before we get to that landing, one other, I guess, area you can use LittleNavMap to improve over the default sim experience. So this is I believe this is the stock G1000 available on all of the other sims. I'm obviously aware it's a third-party airplane we're flying, but I've had significant issues with TCAS in the G1000 suite. And one example, so on our TCAS right now, you can see there's one aircraft behind us, 6,800 feet now above us and climbing. But if I switch to LittleNavMap, you can see here's that aircraft behind us. Baltic 17902, 14,800 feet and climbing. There's also this guy here, which did not show up on our TCAS. He's off to our right. Obviously, the Air Baltic flight is closer, but at range, he should show up on our TCAS system, and that's just not the case. Again, it's not isolated to this specific case. I've noticed it quite a bit, so this is almost just a better aircraft, I guess, observation station, because it's not going to give you alerts or anything like that like TCAS would. But it lets you turn the traffic option off of your G1000, clean it up a little bit, and make it better. Obviously, the TCAS has gotten rid of the... Oh, nope, he's still there. Never mind. So, yeah, I'm not sure why that other aircraft is not showing up, but alas, he is not. But that's okay. We are about 12 nautical miles out from our destination. I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty thick soup. You can see some nice mountains in the distance there, though. Nonetheless, we're going to keep trucking here till we get to our final destination. 4 minutes and 15 seconds remain. Alrighty, you can see the field well below us there. We're going to be doing a steep approach. Kodiak's more than capable. Coming down through 3,000 now. We'll start throwing in flaps. There's 108. Flaps are full. Landing lights on. Strobes on. We'll set the engine to bypass. And we'll touch off the autopilot, kill the flight director, level off through our VR, and then dump the nose. Alright, there's VR, nose coming down. This might be too much of a steep approach. Plenty of runway. Gotta stay below 108 knots. We're right on that threshold now.
500.
Alright, little pre-flare, big flare. Settle on down. Into beta. Turns out it was not too steep of a steep approach, which is always good. Alright, we turn around, parked up, and close her on out. So yeah, that's just a brief overview of LittleNavMap. Next time around, I think maybe we'll take a look at the SimBrief side of things. If you guys are interested in more videos like this, I've been using this in the background of my videos for quite a bit, just for ease of my flight planning, seeing what interesting points might be around. What kind of helo do we have there? Is that a H-135? It is. So I think this is some sort of military base, but someone will have to fill me in. But yeah, if you guys are interested in a SimBrief import and then using that on an aircraft that can, well, I guess no, we would do it normally. So I was going to say use it on an aircraft that can import SimBriefs like the Phoenix A320 or the PMDG 737, but we would be using LittleNavMap actually to plan our flight based off of the SimBrief files. That wouldn't quite work. Alright, let's do a rolling shutdown here. Very nice. Alright, aux bus is coming off. That can stay. Taxi comes off. Prop didn't go all the way into feather. It is now. Main fuel off. Beacon come off. Nav can come off. Battery off. We'll actually open that door. And we'll shut our fuel valves. Unlock our harnesses. And that will be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you're interested in more SimBrief, more in-depth stuff, I just kind of wanted to give a general overview of the app. I definitely like it. It's a great free tool for flight planning and for live flight monitoring, depending on which is more of your thing. But that is going to do it for this video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, take it easy.